Aquarius, my darling, this reading's going to be for you. I'm holding my phone currently because I'm listening to Gurnam sing, and the song is Ong Namo. It's a mantra chanting type sort of song, but felt very drawn to put it on for you guys during this reading. And the interpretation of that is, I bow to the divine wisdom of all that is. And let's get into it. So Aquarius, I've pre-drawn your cards, and that is hence the reason why I wanted to go back to that, as Gurnam had been playing through. And I was like, no, definitely in that initial song, I feel like that's where you're heading. That's where you're heading. Where to begin? Where to begin, my darling air sign? Beautiful fixed Aquarius, happy birthday. We're in that last week of your birthday week. So however you've celebrated, I hope it, I kind of feel like maybe you've done different to other years. I don't feel like you've been very sociable with this birthday for whoever I'm picking up on. I feel like this has been actually quite a reflective birthday season for you, but one that's also brought you back home to yourself, Aquarius. And that is the positive we can take from this, because I'm not going to lie, this reading was kind of heavy. I got overexcited then, and I haven't pulled out your support cards, so we're going to do them together as we get through. But where to begin? Aquarius, I feel like you've been going through a bit of bullshit at the moment, and it's something that's had to put you in a space of reflection. And, you know, you've had to remove yourself from the pack in order to start having this. Maybe you were triggered by the need for clarity, or you've been triggered by these icky people that you've been surrounding yourself with. I'm sorry to hear. The reflection card, I'll hold it up again. As you can see, we've got a wolf here under the moonlight. Now, we're nearly coming into the quarter moon this week. We are coming off that Leo full moon. The wolf is on his own. He's looking kind of worn out there, really. And I feel like that's definitely a bit of a representation of how you might be feeling right now. Up here in the background, we can see that little dark secondary wolf. But I feel like this is a representation of your shadows, and they're starting to be illuminated. You've hit that point where you're ready to embrace those different parts of yourself that you sort of potentially haven't been wanting to see. Now, these could be those parts of yourself that, you know, maybe you haven't wanted to admit it to. And these could be things such as addictions. It could also be your treatment of other people. And the reflection card does talk about manipulative behaviors. As we know, the wolf can be quite a cunning little creature and quite savage when he goes in for the kill. So it could be someone that has maybe potentially used people for your own advantage at times. And I feel like maybe you've experienced something that's really made you be able to look at the error in your own ways, because you've experienced something that maybe you played with a bit of fire, Aquarius. And now you are reaping what you sow, basically. I know that sounds harsh, but I don't mean it in well, Aquarius, got what you deserve. This isn't that kind of reading. But let's continue. So I feel like, Aquarius, you're in a state of protection, right? We've got the Knight has shown up here, and this to me is like your current energy. Knights are very stoic. Like, they were obviously in medieval days, but they were employed for a reason, and they followed direction very precisely. They did what they were told. Very brave, you can rely on him. The fact he's shown up here, I also got that vibe of the Knight of Swords, except this one's, he's standing his ground. And I feel like you have to be in a bit of a state of protecting of yourself right now. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. You have been in a space of protecting your self-sovereignty. I feel like you've found yourself in a situation where you've potentially been suffering a bit of manipulation and abuse yourself. The Knight card also speaks of, I have put a few things that have come through for me down here. It speaks of being on the receiving end of gossip and malicious backstabbing, corporate backstabbing. So I feel like this gossip, backstabbing, and somewhat discrimination has come from people that you've potentially placed a bit of trust in. Generally, when we are experiencing some form of abuse, the abuser likes to paint a bit of a picture and paint a bit of a story for those around. And generally, that isn't even a representation of what has actually been going on. Now, manipulators and abusers, they're quite good at what they do, and they generally will not do this. What their abuse, they keep hidden. So in order to, keep themselves looking quite well respected to the crowd, they paint a story for those around them. And I feel like you've been on the receiving end of this. So you could have been like starting to experience weird vibes from people you know, from friends. You may have had people bringing things up to you that you're just like, oh my God, no, like that is not the case. And you've probably realized that what this person has been doing to you, they have been saying that you've been doing to them. Or that you've just been making up bullshit lies about you. Now, Spirit's asking you to step into your personal power here. You've got a couple of options, Aquarius, and that's going to be, we've got the Siberian tiger here. Now, that is recognizing emotions and recognizing things that make us feel and experience emotions. We've got a few choices when this card does present ourselves, and also when emotions come up, like how are we going to respond to them? Are we going to speak about them or remain neutral about it and say nothing? Now, that option does come with a cost. When we say nothing, those feelings and those emotions are still in there. And so therefore, it can either put us in a place of victimhood, where we become bound by the things that are happening to us because no one else knows about it. And I'm feeling, Aquarius, that you're in a space where, you've removed yourself from the pack and you're reflecting and you are having some epiphanies of what's been happening to you. Now, I feel like these were people that you trusted. It could be a workspace, but I'm strongly more getting maybe even a family dynamic here, okay? You've sort of had to really stand out alone to be able to defend yourself and stand up for yourself. The Seven of Wands, I was going to say swords. So maybe Seven of Swords is that lies and deception. Maybe you're in this space. This is what these people have made you feel, in a state of having to defend yourself constantly. You could have been dealing with a Leo. I'm going to say you could have been dealing with maybe a water sign of some sort as well. Now, this person may have, as I said, painted a bit of a picture, not only for those on the outside, but for you as well. This could have been someone, you know, who appeared to be quite spring chickeny, quite young, and made promises to you that were quite elusive and potentially seductive is the word. This person may have said they were single. They could have made promises of wanting to have a future with you, but that just wasn't the case. Now, you could have met this person through a family. This could either be like a younger sibling or cousin or something, or maybe this is someone that was introduced to you by a family member. Now, who that person was, I'm feeling like it could be like an older female. Now, it could be a mother, could be a father, but I'm sort of getting here that potentially a female. This person could have been an earth sign, a water sign, Scorpio in particular, or just someone that's very possessive of you and controlling of you and what you do. Now, as I'm saying this, I'm realizing that this is quite a specific reading, but it's whoever's energy I'm picking up on in that Aquarian collective. 1 second. Sorry, little interruption there. So yes, I know this is quite a specific message, but this is for the Aquarian that is tuning in and watching this right now. Aquarian placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, whatever. So I'm feeling like this is an older person to you and someone that you have looked up to. And now this person has really sort of made you over your lifetime feel good 1 minute and not so great the next. But because it's always been something that you've known, you've not really questioned it at times, or you've just put that down to that's how they are. And, you know, I'm hearing they still love me, but it's at what cost, Aquarius? So the storyline I'm getting here is potentially you've been introduced to somebody, somebody known to this older figure, and there's been malicious intent behind it, a bit of exploitation of, you know, you and potentially, you know, what you have and what you can bring and of what benefit this all is to this older person. This is someone that's quite cold. I don't feel like you've experienced warmth within this dynamic much throughout your lifetime. Very sort of like revengeful, catty, complainy, and not willing to change. Never looks at themselves in a way to see their own faults or issues or what they might contribute to the person you are today and why that is. So I feel like they've introduced you to someone younger. However, I mean, for some of you that it might have been you've met someone who reminds you of this other person. And maybe when you voice this to this mother figure, they've really like shot you down. Like, oh, I know them, like they're great. Or what are you talking about? I don't know why you would be thinking that. But meanwhile, you're probably thinking, oh my God, they remind me so much of you, in a sense. But it wasn't like that initially. Like, I feel like this person really presented themselves like, I'm single, I'm ready to mingle with you. And I've got everything I already need. Like, I'm just looking for someone to, you know, enjoy life with. And yeah, I love to have a good time. You know, I don't have any, like, the person probably doesn't have children or anything that ties them down. They've presented themselves as like open to you. Now, the whole time they haven't had any intention of actually being like they haven't seen long term with you at all. This was like for a good time, not a long time, and for personal gain. You might have constantly felt like, why am I not getting anywhere with this person? Why? You know, and they could have even, this come up in a reading I did the other night too. You may want to watch the Capricorn reading that I did. But this person could have even lied to you about being pregnant. Or lied to you that, yes, I want to have children, and really sucked you in that way. And you've obviously since found out that that wasn't the case. But I feel like with the space you're in right now, like this could be two separate matters, like this parental figure and this potential partner. It got really, really heavy. It got really, really heavy, and then there was the straw that broke the camel's back, basically. You could have had friends encouraging you to be with this person. Like, oh, yeah, they're great. Like, they're hot. Like, just, what are you waiting for? But I think you're really coming to realize with both of these, all three of these cards, is that who the fuck am I hanging with? Like, does anyone have my back? And having Aquarius in you, or being an Aquarius sun sign, like, you're not someone that's ever really, as much as you love being around other people, you've not been reliant particularly of needing other people to feel good. Like, you generally feel good within yourself. Like, and I say that in the sense of like, I'm quite happy to take myself off on my own to go do something. I like to take myself on a little short getaway trip. I enjoy my own company. I can, you know, enjoy trying new things. And so the fact that I feel like you've also held on tight to what you've always known though. Like, these could all be people that have been a part of your life for a long period of time. And when it comes to the family dynamic, like, everyone seems to always be able to, you know, you've often gone to, instead of trusting your own inner voice, have taken like what other people have said as to what you should be doing. Now, Aquarius, I feel like this is all breaking away for you. This is all breaking away for you right now. And you've had that wake-up call from the divine. Bam! I really hear him, like, it's taken like for shit to get so sour. And that horn, like, you could be hearing a bit of a ringing in your ears at different times lately. But something has like come in as that full wake-up call. Is this what I fucking want for my life? Is this where I want to be right now? Because all of this is making no sense anymore. I don't know who I can trust. I don't know who I can trust. And that's what I'm really getting for you right now. Now, I also had the abundance card come out. And that's that, like, once this comes through, like, I see them quite similar in the sense of it's an offering from the divine. This is like Judgment Day. This is, you know, and here's you down here, bum out and all, like, I surrender. I surrender. I am ready. And I feel like you're probably, this birthday season, however old you're turning, I'm thinking most of my audience seem to be in the 30s plus. However, you could be younger. But I see you being in that space of now, like, I'm ready. It's time. It's time for me to start growing up. It's time for me to start, like, looking at this life around me and, you know, being okay to be like, no. I want more for myself. My thoughts, my beliefs, and what I want for myself might be different from what you've told me that I need, or what everyone thinks I need. And you're really starting to embrace like your own personal power, Aquarius. Like, I see you so deeply on these levels as these are like stepping away from the pack. From, I can't think of what like a posse of tigers is. It's on the tip of my bloody tongue, but I can't remember. But it doesn't matter because you're away from them and you're embracing your flaws, because people have been talking shit anyway. So now what's it actually even matter? What matters is what you think about yourself right now and what you're going to do to become the best fucking damn version of yourself. Is that it with these people? No. Does that mean it's going to be easy, especially when these people could potentially be family members or people that you've known your whole life? Also, no. It's not. But, like, again, this card, like, through our fucking greatest pains, that's where we can concoct our greatest inspiration. That's what really can change us and push us out of that victimhood in order to move forward and get on the other side. And guess what? You're not Robinson Crusoe. Like, so many people have done this before you and are doing it. And that's how we break generational cycles. That's how we raise the vibration of the collective, of humanity in general. And you can't tell me you're not about humanity because you are an Aquarian. We're going to get your support cards, Aquarius. Let's see what it is that can help you through this, because I know it must be pretty heavy and I know you must be feeling at times pretty alone. And the need to talk it out. Like, you should definitely be utilizing tools like, you know, even if you can put on some favorite music and sing. Something to vocalize and verbalize what you're feeling, whether or not you are seeking professional help right now. The drums. Drumming. Getting in touch with your feminine side, which to me is that representation of the emotions, as Aquarius is a masculine sign. So I feel like you are well versed in that. Coming into this is the Matariki. I don't know if I butcher the way I pronounce that or not, but that is the New Zealand Maori New Year, which is on the 20th of June. Not going to forget that date now. So something could be coming up for you, like maybe things are easing for you by June. And knowing a lot of my audience is in Australia as well, like winter time, like that's going to be that bunker down, take stock. Apple cider vinegar. Maybe you've been watching it on Netflix, but also like that's that good bacteria that our gut, prebiotic, I think we class it as. It's affordable. Very versatile. So you could be incorporating some more astringency, bitterness in your meals, like putting a little bit over your salad can be very good. They're saying on here that you can stir it in a teaspoon with some honey and hot water and sip as a tonic. Really good cleansing for the gut. However, I feel the need to share this story. Back in like 7 years ago or so, when it was becoming quite popular at the time to shot it, I shotted it and experienced extreme bloating. So just be careful of overconsumption. Sometimes, you know, too much of a good thing can have the opposite effect. Now, drumming, you could be a drummer, you could have drums, you may be drawn to just, you know, hearing the beat of a drum is that connection to back those first sounds in the womb, hearing the mother's heartbeat. Maybe you are going to be healing the loss of a parental figure in your life. Maybe you are healing the loss of a parental figure. But maybe check out... So the first drummer named in history was a Mesopotamian priestess called Lipusha. Okay, 2380 BC. At that time and over later centuries, drumming priestesses led community rituals from childbirth to death and used their skill on the frame drum to summon and channel the goddess. So even like, you know, maybe this alone time is going to lead you to community, to surrounding yourself. Maybe you attend a drumming circle, maybe just bashing it out on the drums or something like that. The wolf has showed up here again. Ooh, I got a little bit of a chill then. That's symbolic. So be wild, be brave, be free. If wolf appears as your spirit animal, be guided by this. I'm feeling like he kind of is. Again, time for reflection. Time for you to act decisively. Don't be shy. Speak up and share your brilliance with the world. Wolf teaches that only you can solve this problem, and that you can. Claim your power by clearly stating your ambition. I choose to heal myself. I am worthy of healing. It doesn't say that. That's what I'm telling you right now. Accept that life is short and time is precious. Act accordingly. Life's too short to be feeling like shit. Replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations. Create a sacred space to communicate with your higher self. Yeah, Aquarius, like home could be your sacred space right now. I'm going to suggest opening up windows, curtains, letting in the light. Maybe some saging. Who else do we have here? Quite a few supportive cards come out, and I just allowed them to. I wouldn't usually take that many, but... Sound healing and yarrow. So yarrow is like a little wildflower found on the side of the road, but it has some sacred healing properties. You know, it's a nod to the warrior Achilles, who used to treat his wounded soldiers, with this. It's also linked with, I later found out from my dad, yarrow sticks are used for I Ching. So you could find yourself drawn to different, you know, different forms of divination right now. Maybe you are picking up a deck of cards and just looking for a different tool for getting that channeling from your higher self, from the divine. Silence is a wonderful way. Removing all distractions. I'm going to wrap it up. This has gone quite long for you, Aquarius, but it is what it is. You needed it. So be wild, be free, be you, regain that power. If you like this reading or resonated, like, subscribe, share. I would really appreciate it, and I'd love to hear any feedback. Sending you my love.